book surprised you the most?
A whole book. The whole book. Because I thought that I knew a lot until I read that book and realized I didn't know anything. There was a lot to learn and a lot to still be discovered. I'm still processing it. I can see things now that I didn't see before. And it's all because of the book.
I love that. Jules?
So much of the book really opened my eyes to things. The Casual Killing Act, the legality of rape. And then one of the other parts was the housing covenants and the covenants that were allowed. And growing up in the Bay Area, St. Francis Wood, for instance, is a highly coveted place to want to live or want to strive to, right? I was a child and I passed through St. Francis Woods, and it was something that you feel could have been attainable. And then as you read Dante's book, you realize it's attainable for white people. It's not attainable for me. It's not attainable for you, not in the way that you think you would be able to attain certain places and spaces. You are written out of that legally.
Right. And Alicia?
What really stands out to me is the 1850 Fugitive Slave Act, which describes so much of how white people operate in terms of that act deputizing all white Americans to serve as white racial police against African Americans, whether they're freed or enslaved, and getting incentivized by bounties, by slave auctions to surveil and police and criminalize Black people, and how that persists today, the obsession with it.
We're free. We're not on plantations. We're not indentured servants.
Well, that's
We're
unfortunate.
not slaves.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's such an unfortunate mindset. Again, it's rooted in low standards too, because your starting point, as it pertains to Black people and freedom, is one where people are bound, shackled in chains, being subjected to rape and pedophilia, and stuck on agricultural plantations. And so we don't necessarily consider, for example, the public health institution or, my job at Google or my job as an attorney at this law firm. We don't consider these corporation plantations where white people have benefited for centuries, and yet we still are subjects of servitude in a system that's based on feudalism. So therefore we have developed false impressions, I guess I would say, and low standards and low expectations around how we define and deal with freedom. The hardest about chapter 3, and what are some key pieces that stood out for you that you would want people to know about or be prepared for?
The different laws and the cases and the way that the system has been set up to not protect Black women and Black boys too, and Black men as well, particularly Black women, just for us to be seen, as you said this earlier, just the vessel to give birth and then go back to work. So that shows up in how our birthing outcomes are. It shows up in how we connect with our partners, because there's this constant reinforcement of that you don't matter and you're not valued. And I think you highlight that very clearly, the lack of protection against for Black women in chapter 3. I also remember in one of your courses, you asked the class, would they want to be Black women? Everyone said no, right? And that just shows me even more how reinforced it is that being a Black woman, you're at a constant state of lack of protection and also aggression as well.
Yeah, and let me be very clear too, because that question was out of the spectrum of all of the identities that I presented as multiple choice answers. Who would you not want to be?
Yeah.
And 100% of the people said, I would not want to have been a Black woman.
Right.
I would not want to be
right.
a Black woman.
Right.
I am so excited to announce that the Docuseries is now available for pre-orders. Go to DanteKing.com or to DiagnosingWhitenessAndAntiBlackness.com to check it out. Go and subscribe. Get your popcorn ready for December 7th. You can also join the launch party, which will be held live through Zoom. See you there.